Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family. In today's video, we have to talk about Lucas Chevalier and how the Paris Saint Germain fan base has reacted to, his first, 9-10 games at the club. Because I want to share my opinions and, look at the criticism. Is it valid? Is it too much? Let's go to it. The first thing I want to say is this. Lucas Chevalier posted this on his Instagram yesterday and deactivated the comments because of the amount of hate comments he was receiving, which is completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. You can have any kind of opinion about a player, but taking your time, taking your energy to go to his Instagram account and personally tell him about his mistakes, where he has to improve on, or that he has to leave the club and he will never be better than Donna, is extremely childish and disgusting. This is not what Paris Saint Germain supporters should be doing. If you want to critique him on Twitter, if you want to critique him on Insta, anywhere, but taking it to a personal level, forcing him to remove his comments, is very disrespectful. This is a player that has barely played 10 games at the club. Just came in as a new signing with so much pressure on him. Paris Saint Germain just won the Champions League, so the standard has never been higher at Paris Saint Germain. We're trying to go back to back, so the pressure has never been higher again. Gianluigi Donnarumma, we saw what he did, especially in the knockout stage of the Champions League last season. So that's the last remembrance Paris Saint Germain supporters have of a goalkeeper with the Paris Saint Germain kit. And that's why it's a high standard, and it's high critique from the PSG fan base. I want to take a look at 4 separate goals Lucas Chevalier has conceded that I think, he should at least be saving 2 or 3 of them. The first one, obviously, was in his debut game versus Tottenham Hotspur. Cross comes in here with a set piece, I think, to Romero right here. You can see Chevalier standing, correct position, standing in the middle. He doesn't want to give Romero a side to go for. Romero heads it. What Romero's possibly looking for here is Chevalier saves it and it goes to a rebound to Danso or Papessar, whoever that is. But oh my days. Oh my days. It looks horrendous. As you can see, his hands go down too early and touch the floor. So issue with the hands. Instead of going for the ball, he completely misses the ball. And then when he's already touched the floor, he's trying to go to the side, but it's already too late. Horrific goal to be conceding. Next up is obviously Marseille. Le Classique. Went from UEFA Super Cup final, huge game. Marseille, Le Classique at the Velodrome, huge game. Greenwood here takes a shot, gets blocked off by Pacho, I think. Ball goes here to the back post. Marquinhos. Chevalier is like, I'm going to take it. And yeah. Chevalier should always go for that kind of a ball. And completely mishits the ball. Let's see if there's another replay here. Yeah, here's a perfect one. Goes for it. And as you can see here, the hand, he gets there before Aguero the Marquinhos can get to the ball. But unfortunately misses the ball. And it goes in. Not the best look. Next up is Lille, recent game. Ethan Mbappe has the ball here on the left side. Right side, takes the shot. Obviously, Beraldo does not help, letting it through go through his legs. But Chevalier just, once again, way too late to react, way too late to get down to the floor. And lastly but not least, we obviously have the clip from yesterday. And once again, it's another similar goal. It's going down. So the Marseille mistake is a mistake in itself. But all the other 3 mistakes are very similar. It's Chevalier standing up and having to go down to the floor. Let's take this in slow motion. Having to go down to the floor, and he just does it too late. Like, a lot of people on Twitter I saw, they were memeing, look at his left hand. He's trying to save it with his left instead of right. And I don't want to exaggerate myself too much, but I played a little bit as a goalkeeper. So my best explanation here is, here, he's marking the near post, but he has to be careful and ready if it's going to go far post. He plants his legs. There he opens his legs. Don't really know exactly why. And then here, his legs are already open. This is a position, because the ball is not coming with power. You want to get down to ground and lay down. But Chevalier, because his legs are open, you can't lay down with your legs are open. So then he tries to put his right and bring his left. He tries everything he can do. And this leg is what's fucking up the movement, because he cannot lay down because that leg is opened up. So what we have right here is 4 goals conceded by Lucas Chevalier that I believe he should not be conceding. This is a goalkeeper that we bought in for 40 million euros. This is a goalkeeper nominated for the Yashin Trophy. This is a goalkeeper that won League and Goalkeeper of the Season ahead of Gianluigi Donnarumma last season, and that showed very good signs at Lille in the we're here to discuss that. We'll take a look at the stats. Do they tell us a different story than what the numbers, what the eye test is telling us? So let's go through Lucas Chevalier's season so far for Paris Saint Germain. Started 11 games, 2 UCL games, 8 Ligue 1 games, and 1 UEFA Super Cup. Has faced 30 shots on target and has conceded 11, which is a 63.3% save ratio. He's made 19 saves, 5 clean sheets, which is no clean sheets in the last 3 games. Look at his launching numbers, only completed 34%, but as you can see, he hasn't launched that much, but against Barca, only 1 out of 7 worked, for example. Goal kicks, like no really impressive numbers here. So what I wanted to do was react to Chevalier last season with Lille and Donnarumma at Paris Saint Germain last season. So goals against per 90. Lucas Chevalier this season has actually conceded the least compared to Donna last season in all comps, and Chevalier last season at Lille, 1.11. Shots on target against, if you make it per 90. As you can see, Chevalier last season faced the most shots. Chevalier this season faced the lowest amount of shots. If you look at save percentage, Chevalier last season had a 74.9, better than Donna. The reason why he won League and Goalkeeper of the Season, Donna only having 69.3, but this season Chevalier is down at 63.3. What this gives us a good picture of is that Lucas Chevalier is not performing at his level. This is not Lucas Chevalier's level. He's just underperforming when it comes to the save ratio. A little bit of it could be he's a bit cold in goal. At Lille, he faced more shots. He's more proactive. He's more active in the game, more energy. Whilst now at Paris Saint Germain, it's less of that. So he has to be ready for like 1 shot per game. But it's clear, 63% compared to basically 75% is a huge difference. But clean sheets wise, 27% for Chevalier last season. Donnarumma, 26% last season. 50% clean sheet ratio for Lucas Chevalier this season, which obviously shows how better the Paris Saint Germain are defensively, and they doesn't face as many shots per game. Goals against saves. So shot on target against 2.73. Yeah, we looked at it. He faces the lowest amount of goals. If we can look at some advanced goalkeeping stats, post GXG 9.6. So this is like post shot expected goals minus goals allowed. Like how many extra goals do you save? Lucas Chevalier last season saved 9.6. Donnarumma on the other hand, minus 1.1. Donnarumma, it was a lot of huge moments in the Champions League knockout stage, but his overall season was not that well. Even though Lucas Chevalier this season, minus 0.8 is still better than Donna's average last season. But Chevalier last season, absolutely elite. And that's what we want. We want Chevalier to go from minus 0.8 to plus 9.6. Chevalier is not performing at his usual performance. I think the pressure is too much for Chevalier. Going from Lille to Paris Saint Germain is a huge step, which he's struggling with. And as I've said in my previous podcasts and videos, it's not just the move. Chevalier is not having his own individual pressure. He's having the pressure from Donnarumma and what he did last season. And because of, the departure was so surprising and unexpected that, the fans are not happy with it. If you look at the passing percentage right here, he completed way more passes, like launched passes here. Percentage, honestly, very similar between him last season and Donnarumma. Goal kick, sweeper. Shoot. Yeah, I mean, that's basically all the stats we can take a look at here. And how I want to end this video, let's get a picture of Chevalier here. Let's get a picture of my boy Chevalier. Yeah, Chevalier means knight in French for the people that don't know. All right, no. This is a better one. Let's bring this one up. Let's have my thoughts about Lucas Chevalier. So, after looking at the stats and everything, it's quite clear Lucas Chevalier is not performing at the level, he performed last season from Lille, which was the reason we got him from Lille and let Donnarumma go to Manchester City. So, all we want at the moment is for Chevalier to perform at that level. Going out and cussing him on Instagram and... Look, there's a difference between criticizing a player on Twitter and then just completely bombarding a Chevalier agenda. It's completely understandable. Understandable for me. Lucas Chevalier was signed for 40 to 45 million euros. With Donnarumma going. He's young, he's French, he suits the project, great with the ball, great at shot stopping. This is a future like 8+ year goalkeeper for Paris Saint Germain at least. And I'm seeing comparisons to Areola on the Twitter timeline from filthy French PSG fans. We need to support this dude. This is his toughest time at the moment. And people are just cussing him out because they're sad that Donna left. I'm also sad that Donna left. I'm sad that he left for footballing reasons because he's the best goalkeeper in the world. But I'm also sad because of the persona of Donnarumma. He was someone that was here for a long time, suffered, made mistakes, crucial mistakes, huge mistakes. I remember every single one. I can name them on my hand. Madrid, Bayern, Dortmund, Barca. It goes and goes and goes and goes. It goes and goes and goes and goes. But we were there for Donnarumma's tough time. Chevalier has barely played 11 games. And I'm seeing people say, we're not going to win the UCL because Chevalier is ass. At the moment, he's performing well. But he's not performing at the world-class rate he should be performing, and the reason we got him in. But there's nothing we can do about that apart from being honest. We should not completely blind ourselves and act like Chevalier is, has been top so far for us. We should not lie. We should be honest. But this entire agenda against Chevalier, I'm completely disgusted about. Because first of all, it shows people do not understand football. Second of all, it just shows how emotional they are when they have to build up a footballing opinion nowadays. It's completely disgusting, completely filthy, and I genuinely hope the best for Lucas Chevalier. I'm going to be one of his biggest supporters. At the same time, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to be honest about if he concedes a goal he should not be conceding. I'm going to be honest about that. Always. But this complete agenda I'm seeing from PSG supporters is so disgusting. Chevalier deserves our support, our appreciation in this tough time because his position at the moment is extremely tough. Lucas Chevalier, we're supporting you to come back to your best. We saw that double save. That was a huge double save versus Strasbourg. Obviously, we also saw the mistake for the Moreira goal. But Chevalier has been good so far at Paris Saint Germain. Has a 50% clean sheet ratio. Yes, that's maybe more on the defense and so on, but it's still very good. And one huge thing with Chevalier, we're not being pressed anymore. We even talked yesterday on the post-match with Strasbourg Steve, who's a Strasbourg fan, and he mentioned so many times, he was like, oh, why they're not pressing Chevalier like they used to press Donna? Well, it's because he's press resistant. That's something we don't see in the stats. That's something we don't even see in the eye test sometimes. But teams don't press us like they used to do before because Lucas Chevalier is so great on the ball. But again, the agenda is always going to win for these haters. That's been it from boy PS Gent. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Support our boy Lucas Chevalier. And as usual, allez Paris.